When Pakistan and India face off, the world holds its breath. From the battlefield to the negotiating table, their rivalry is one of the most intense and complex in modern history. But behind the headlines are stories the world never heard, until now. It all began in 1947, when the British Empire ended its 200-year rule in the Indian subcontinent. As India gained independence, Pakistan was carved out as a separate Muslim-majority nation. But this partition came at a cost. Millions were displaced, and nearly 1 million lost their lives in one of the largest human migrations in history. From the ashes of partition, a bitter rivalry was born, and it didn't take long for this rivalry to turn into war. Just months after independence, in 1947, both nations clashed over the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan supported tribal militias to capture the region, while India sent troops after the Maharaja acceded to India. The war ended in 1949 with a UN-mediated ceasefire, creating the line of control, but not peace. But here's an untold moment. Many Indian and Pakistani soldiers on both sides had been part of the same British Indian Army. Friends just months earlier, now shooting at each other, some even refused to fire during the early days of conflict. Fast forward to 1965. Pakistan launched Operation Gibraltar, infiltrating forces into Kashmir. The idea? Spark an uprising and internationalize the Kashmir issue. But India responded with full-scale retaliation. One untold story. During the Battle of Asal Uttar, an Indian soldier, Abdul Hamid, single-handedly destroyed several Pakistani tanks with a recoilless rifle. He died in action and was posthumously awarded the Paramveer Chakra, India's highest military honor. Ironically, he was a Muslim fighting for India in a war partly based on religious division. At the same time, stories emerged from the Pakistani side of immense bravery. Major Raja Aziz Bhatti defended Lahore for 5 days, refusing to retreat despite constant shelling. He too was posthumously honored with Pakistan's highest military award, Nishan-e-Haidar. But the most decisive war came in 1971, not over Kashmir, but East Pakistan, now known as Bangladesh. Pakistan's internal political crisis in East Pakistan led to a brutal crackdown, triggering a humanitarian disaster. India, overwhelmed with over 10 million refugees, eventually intervened militarily. Here's an untold moment. Indian pilot Flight Lieutenant Nirmaljit Singh Sekun took off during an air raid in Srinagar, despite knowing it was a suicide mission. He shot down several Pakistani Sabre jets before being killed. He's still remembered as a hero in Indian Air Force history. And in the chaos, Pakistani soldiers like Major Muhammad Akram Khan held the hilly sector against fierce Indian assaults, displaying extraordinary courage until his final breath. This war changed the map forever. Bangladesh was born, and India emerged as a dominant regional power. In 1999, Pakistani soldiers and Kashmiri militants crossed the line of control, occupying strategic peaks in Kargil. India launched Operation Vijay to push them back. Untold moment. Captain Vikram Batra, the face of Indian bravery during Kargil, radioed the famous phrase, "Ye dil mange more," after recapturing Point 5140. Days later, he was martyred while rescuing a fellow soldier. Back in Pakistan, soldiers like Havildar Lalak Jan showed unmatched resolve, fighting till his last bullet in freezing temperatures. His sacrifice earned him the Nishan-e-Haidar. But war is more than tanks and guns. It's about the people. There are countless untold stories. Indian and Pakistani soldiers who became pen pals after war, families divided by borders, and cricketers who embraced like brothers despite political hostilities. In 2003, a ceasefire agreement brought temporary calm, but tension simmers below the surface. Cross-border skirmishes, espionage, propaganda wars. Still, stories of peace keep emerging. Pakistan and India have fought wars, but they have also shared centuries of culture, language, and blood. The untold moments of these wars aren't just about bullets. They're about bravery, pain, and humanity. So next time you hear India versus Pakistan, remember, it's not just about borders or politics. It's about real people who live, love, and lose in the shadows of conflict.